Hi there, we're down in Pemberton. We're about to do a cooking class, but we thought we'd quickly film the black truffle white chocolate ice cream. It's like the best thing you'll ever taste. It sounds weird, I know that, but we're going to start off with the custard. Super simple, easy to do. Straight into the thermo with some milk. Need a bit more. That'll be all right. Some white chocolate. So I'm using Coverture Calibut chocolate here. And this is the only sugar that we use in the ice cream, is what's already existing in the white chocolate. I'm hoping there's a little bit left over for snacks later. I don't think we're going to make it, Brie. There's no snacks. No. A pinch of salt. And that just helps the sweetness taste a bit more sweet. Some vanilla. Vanilla bean paste, to be precise. Now we're going to add some eggs, but actually egg yolks. So we're going to only add one whole egg. These are beautiful farm eggs that we got yesterday from the truffle farm. Just going to put the whites into here. Okay, now we're just going to cook the custard. 8 minutes, 80 degrees. So we just want to set the protein in the yolks, and 80 degrees is kind of almost going to do that. 8 minutes is definitely going to do that. And we're going to go speed 4 because we want it really, really well combined and no lumps. Okay, so the custard's done. If you were serving this as custard, you'd actually cook it a little longer at a higher temperature just to totally set that egg. But because we are making ice cream with this, it's okay. So it's still nice and hot. We're going to cool it down fast because we're freezing it, and it has to be totally cold. Just going to get all that vanilla goodness out. Okay, so now I'm going to grate in our magic ingredient, the truffle, and I'm using a microplane. You could blitz it up in the Thermomix, but you know, you don't want to use too much. This is a dessert. We want that truffle flavour, but we don't want to overwhelm the flavour either. It does sort of need a good stir. So then you just stir that truffle through the warm custard or the hot custard, which we're actually going to cool down by adding the cream in. And this is going to look beautiful when it's churned because the pieces of truffle will kind of disintegrate a little bit, and you'll just get that sense of having truffle in your ice cream. Of course, you'll be able to taste it as well. And then I'm adding the beautiful Bannister Downs cream. And this cools the mixture down quickly so that you can churn it. If you weren't going to use a churner, which, you know, a lot of people don't have churners, you would freeze the custard with the truffle through it, cool it and freeze it, and then whip the cream and churn the frozen custard in your Thermomix and then fold through the whipped cream. That would be the way to do it. I'll write that up on the recipe. Okay, to refrigerate this, you've got to cool it down for about 2 hours on the bench. Then you need to refrigerate it so it's completely cold. But you need to put something on top of that surface so a skin doesn't form, and that's called a cartouche, which is something that you press a piece of paper, baking paper, completely onto the surface of the custard. Don't be afraid, it just peels right off. And now we'll let this cool, and then we'll chill it. And we did make one earlier that we're going to freeze for you to show you. This is the batch I made earlier, and this also had a cartouche on it. So I'm just going to scrape that all off into the container. might just lay that on there. It's very easy to scrape once it's cold, not a problem. And that's the set cold custard. You could do this well in advance of kneading it or churning it, because ice cream actually improves if the custard or the base is left to age. It's like all good things. Aging improves it. So I've got this amazing churner here. We're not going to talk about that, but if you have an ice cream churner, you never look back. You can have ice cream in 20 minutes. It's a bit dangerous, but anyway. So I'm going to turn my churner on. Just going to put the timer on. And then you just pour your custard in and let it go. Let it do its thing. I'm not going to get it all in this batch. Let's watch and see what happens. Okay, it's ready. I can see that it's ready. So we're just going to transfer it to the Tavolo, which is the double-walled. Oh, look. Beautiful. And keep it in the freezer until use. Just found a big bit of truffle too. Wow. So then we're just going to finish off with some dark chocolate drizzle, which will go all crunchy and chocolatey. It's pretty decadent. Black truffle white chocolate ice cream. It's so good. Thanks, Farm Fresh Truffles. You're going to love it. I'm so rapt that you said Maltesers. I think that's why we like truffles. I do. I think there's a maltiness to it that's, yeah, that's so fascinating. So I couldn't place why it tasted so good. Like, it's a weird combination, really, and I couldn't figure out why I liked it so much, but I think it's definitely got a maltiness to it.